All right, what's up, everybody? It's about 7:32 p.m. and I'm gonna go ahead and make this video tonight. And a friend of mine had pretty much asked me how I would go about and how I have previously went about getting out of traffic ticket citations that's been issued to the legal person, which is your all capital letter name. That's your straw man. That you are the legal representative for. It's not you, and I'm not really going to get into all of that. It's plenty of videos out here over YouTube and the net in general that breaks down the straw man. There's plenty of case law that breaks down the straw man. So if you're not familiar with what it is that I'm referring to, just take out your driver's license, take out any bill, piece of mail, letterhead, whatever the case may be, and your first and last name, or sometimes first, middle initial, and last name will usually always be in all capital letters. You think that it's you, it's not you, but once again, I'm not going to get into all of that tonight because if you don't know what that is, then you seriously have a lot of homework to do. Just know that that's not you. You just act in the legal representative capacity for it. And whenever these municipal corporations or any type of credit card company, the government, United States of America corporation wants to interact with you or what you think is you, they'll be interacting with that all capital letter name. But anyway, back to the subject at hand. First of all, you have to understand what most cities are. Pretty much every township has been abandoned in America. The republic has been abandoned. Everything since 1871 has basically been turned into a corporation, from the people to the what we perceive as being the country itself. So basically, I'm going to show a particular traffic case that my legal person, because it's not me that had a traffic situation, it was my corporation, the legal fiction, my legal person, which is my name in all capital letters, that had a traffic issue that was issued on it was earlier this year. It was May 27th 2016. So pretty much I was getting off work, and it had been raining earlier that day, and I had my fog lights on, and in the state of Arizona, you pretty much get pulled over for just about anything. If they hear you, you got your music playing a little louder than normal, broken tail light, broken headlight, whatever the case may be, any reason so they can go ahead and put a contract together and create revenue, because most police officers, without even realizing, they are by default the revenue generator for these municipal corporations, which we call cities. It's not a city, it's a corporation. You think that you live into an actual city, but once again, it's a corporation. The mayor of your so-called city is usually the CEO of that corporation. The council members are usually the board of administrators for your so-called city, or what you believe to be your city. So I'm going to go ahead and put out some proof in regards to some of this stuff, because I'm not one of these type of dudes that just get on YouTube and make videos and say what it is that they're doing, but they're not actually doing whatever it is that they're claiming that they're doing in these videos. It's a lot of people out here on YouTube, and they make videos, but they don't actually provide proof to the people and show them their own situation and show them their own cases. So I'm going to go ahead and preference this also. Shouts out to my brother True Freeman 317. You guys go check out his YouTube channel. Go subscribe to him as well, man. The brother is real knowledgeable in regards to the United States Corporation and various other things, man. I talk with him all the time, and I just like to pick his brain, man, just to learn how to go about certain things. But I'm actually doing the research behind the questions, whatever it is that I might be asking him. I'm actually going and looking at the research and doing the research for myself. So one of the first things I want to go ahead and show you guys is if you go to the Arizona Secretary of State website, I wanted to break down how the city of Tucson in particular is a municipal corporation. It has a trademark. The status on it is active. It has its own P.O. box. It is located within the township of Tucson in the Republic of Arizona. Now, you got two sides of the state. It's two sides to everything. It's the public and then it's the private. The state of, anytime you see the state of Arizona, that's the corporate side. Anytime you see Arizona state, that's the republic that has been abandoned for quite some time. The domestic begin date for this foreign corporation, because all cities that are incorporated become known as foreign status, or they have a foreign status associated with them. So in particular, the city of Tucson, foreign status date had began on January 1st, 1949. If you look and you type in the city of Tucson city symbol, you'll see, or its description is a half circle with the sun, with the business buildings, and the other half of the moon with the picture of a mission, a lariat, encircling design with the words City of Tucson and Arizona in the outer fringe of the design. They are the registered owner. And if you, like I said, if you go to the Arizona Secretary of State, the Corporations Commission, you can find this information. It's public access. They're not hiding it, and I'll give them credit for that. We just, whatever it is, we continue to play games and not do the research and not look into stuff. So I'll give them credit. They putting it right here in our face. They're not hiding anything. It's just, it's up to us to figure out whether or not we want to go about to go and research this information and learn how to fight them and beat them at their own game. So I'm going to go ahead and be showing multiple things throughout the video. I can't actually find my camera. I don't know what Rachel did with it, but I'm going to go ahead and just show you guys in split shots some of the information. So this is the first thing that I want to show you guys, and to prove that the city of Tucson is a corporation and not a city. Okay, you guys, you see that right there? This is the description that they're giving of their trademark and everything right there. Now look at, in particular right here, it says Agent ID, the owner, the city of Tucson, a municipal corporation. I want to zoom in. That's the P.O. Box, that's the city, that's the state, that's the zip. It's the expiration date. So they, next time they basically have to re-register their symbol is in 2018. Okay, that's one of the first things I'm gonna show you guys. Okay, so now back to my actual situation. I was stopped, like I said, on May 27, 2016, and the violation for my legal person, it was under Title 28. And that's Arizona Revised Statute Title 28, which handles trafficking or driving, which is commercial offenses. And my legal person's violation was 1557B, subsection B, that chapter 2, which was basically driving with high beams on. Like I said, the officer was just being a fucking dick, if you ask me, because it had been raining that night. And it's very hard to see sometimes out here in Arizona because it's not many street lights in particular areas. So I wasn't wanting to really make the scene with the officer because, like I said, I know how to get out of the traffic tickets. I know that it's not me per se that they're charging with an actual traffic ticket. Once again, it's the legal person. And the reason why I'll keep re-emphasizing that is because I want people to understand that there are two of you. As crazy as that might sound to the average person who's not familiar or equipped with this type of information, there are two of you. Not literally, but it's the corporate you, which is, once again, that all capital letter name that you consistently sign for, and that's basically a corporation. So whenever you sign anything that has that all letter cap name associated with it, you are essentially saying, yeah, make me a corporation, turn me into a corporation, because once again, only corporations can interact with other corporations, which is why they can't call Ford Motor Company to the stand, because Ford Motor Company is a corporation. It can't speak for itself. It needs a representative. So just know that. But I don't really want to get into that rant. So basically, the officer pulls me over, and I could tell he pretty much had it was like a ride along. He had a young lady with him, and maybe, I guess, more or less, he called himself trying to impress her. That's the vibe I was getting. So, he asked for driver's license, registration, proof of insurance, blah, blah, blah. The whole cold talk, the lingo. And I pretty much told him that I didn't have a driver's license and that driving was a commercial offense, but I was willing to give him my name because, once again, a lot of people don't realize that Article 2 in the Arizona State Constitution, Section 10, states that no person, now what is a person? A person is a corporation as well, but if you're going to act in that capacity, no person shall be entitled to give any criminal or incriminating information to incriminate themselves, pretty much. No, I didn't have anything to hide, so I gave him my name and he ran it and everything. So I basically, he basically wanted to cause a scene out there. He was the one that was being all irate and everything because I asked for his commanding officer. So he got his commanding officer on the scene. And I just pretty much tried to explain my position. I explained the Senator Wayne, former Arizona State Senator Wayne Stump letter, and why I had stated to the actual officer that I didn't have a driver's license and that at that time I was traveling my private conveyance, but they weren't trying to hear it. So he pretty much wrote up the citation and cited my legal person. And just know that a citation is pretty much a offer to contract. So one of the things that they've been doing as of late, let me go ahead and put that out. Yeah, he ran everything in regards to the plate and everything came back good. All of my shit was legit, but he was just, like I said, they're the revenue generators. That's why most of the time the city attorneys and the deputy attorneys down there at these private law firms keep them in the fucking dark in regards to, the real shit, because like I said, they are the money generators. So, petty crimes like, such as a chick out there shoplifting, all types of little stuff, anything you could think of. Now they just pull you over out here in Arizona of your damn car. If you just pull off on the side of the road, say for instance, if you wanted to, text somebody real quick and you make a right hand turn, they see you make a right hand turn down the goddamn block and you pull over, they want to get behind you and run the goddamn plate or just flick you for no reason. And the reason why I stopped you is because I seen that you made a right hand turn and you put your shit in park and you just go about texting somebody because you ain't trying to text and drive. Or once again, drive or it depends on your situation. Some people are familiar with driving and knowing that driving is operating a vehicle in a commercial realm, and then other people are familiar with the traveling aspect of it. You're not getting paid to travel in your private conveyance, so you are technically and legally not driving according to their own definitions. But anyway, they just pull you over for just about any goddamn thing. But so I'm not going to put out any of the officer information. That would pretty much be disrespectful. So basically, he issued the citation. And one of the ways and how they are going about doing things now is because previously a lot of people wouldn't sign for the actual ticket per se. A lot of people was underneath the impression, well, hell, if I don't sign for it, then they don't got jurisdiction over or subject matter over the case. Yes, they do, because if you haven't rescinded the contracts with the Department of Transportation or Department of Motor Vehicles by default, they have jurisdiction over the matter. And if you gave them a damn driver's license with a photo in that driver's license, because I've never seen a state issued identification card or driver's license that didn't have a photo into it. Now they not only have your signature on that damn license, they also have a picture with you pretty much consenting that you are a legal person. You are a legal fiction. You are a corporation. You're a corpse. You're dead. But anyway, so he issues this citation and everything like that. And he didn't get the signature. So that actually shocked me. He didn't ask me to sign it or anything like that, because now in their computer, they can just type in served in all capital letters, right? So they issue out the citation, and then it usually has the appearance date and time. And usually you have 30 days to respond to the contract, pretty much. So I'm going to break down how I go about giving them their damn contract back, because that's pretty much what it is, right? So most of the right of rescission laws states that you have 3 days to return a contract, but the fact that you never signed, or basically you got 3 days to return something if you have a change of heart and you signed for it, but by default they're hurting themselves because I never signed this ticket. So he just typed in serve on it, and issued me the citation. And now, the appearance date and the time was June 21st, 2016 at the Tucson City Court between the hours of 8 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. So basically, they wanted me to either go down there and address the matter and, file an appeal in regards to the citation, or pay them. I'm not going to get into the money aspect of everything in this video, but just know that there is no such thing as money outside of gold and silver, and I'm gonna just leave it as that. And you can Google that and you can do your own research into that, but just know that what we perceive as being money and what we've been taught as being money is not money. It's a fiat currency. It's a promise to pay, but whatever. I'm not getting into all of that. I showed you guys the fact that Tucson is a municipal corporation. Now I'm gonna go to the city of Tucson website, and I'm gonna show you guys why they can't proceed in this matter. Because what I did was I took the ticket, I got the ticket, he gave me the citation, I never signed for it. So one of the things that you want to go ahead and do, and shouts out to anticorruptionsociety.com, everybody should pretty much go read Lawfully Yours, and everybody should pretty much go ahead and look at some of the information that they have on that website, man. That's probably one of the dopest websites out that people are sleeping on. But once again, don't take anybody else's information for face value. You do your own research behind it. You get your own concrete proof and actually believe it. Don't do anything that you don't believe in, or that you don't, know about, or you haven't put the time and the effort and research into. So I'm gonna show you guys the citation in a minute. I just wanted to go ahead and show you guys the city of Tucson, the case status, right? So this is pretty much the citation number. You'll be looking at the citation number, and you'll be looking at the case status. And then if you guys notice, the so-called judge. Take a look at this. That's the city court. That's the case summary. I'm blocking out my personal information, but notice how that case status is still in pre-arraignment. A judge was never issued on it. And I'm going to show you guys now the reason why they weren't able to go ahead and proceed in this case. Because once I got the ticket, what you want to do is you want to take it to a notary. And once again, a notary, for the millionth time, is a officer of the court. I don't give a shit what anybody else is. You got idiots out here on YouTube saying that a goddamn notary is not an officer of the court. That is a bald-faced lie. Do not believe it. Any public notary, and every public notary in every state, is an officer of the court. Period. That's the end of discussion. Now, their duties and obligations may vary from state to state, but however, usually it's pretty much in the same realm of things. To authenticate signatures, and to validate signatures, and to be a witness that, yes, this person signed this document in front of me on this particular date at this particular time. Nothing more, nothing less in some states. At least how that is. That's how it is out here in Arizona. So you take this citation and you go ahead and you sit down in front of a notary. And I'm going to show the ticket in a second. And you want to sign on behalf of your legal fiction, because once again, remember, like I said, how they hurting themselves in the game is because technically, if I would have signed for this, I would have had 3 days to give it back to them. But since I never signed for it, I can take as long as I want to. Now, I still think that anybody that's going to do this should serve them their ticket back within 30 days. So basically, you want to go ahead and sit down in front of the notary, and you want to say, I do not consent to the proceedings, and I do not wish to consent to the offer of this contract without prejudice. And then you want to reserve all your rights always with UCC 1-308 and 3-415. If I got to explain all of that, then you really shouldn't be doing any of this stuff. You sign it in front of the notary. You get the notary to stamp it with their notary seal, and then you serve it back. Nothing more, nothing less. It might sound crazy. Like, people think that, hey, well, you must be lying, but I'm about to get ready to show you guys everything. Now, when you serve it back to them, a lot of people say use registered mail or use certified mail, but the reason why I prefer to actually spend the money and get a process server that will give you a certificate of service, which is basically identifying what they served back, when they served it, and how they served it, as well as in addition to an affidavit that they will usually sign and give you a copy, and they can also file one at the clerk, the city court clerk. They'll file it with him or her, whoever it may be that's down there, that's authorized to be served by the public. So like I said, I'm not a big fan of using registered mail or certified mail, because anything can happen. They could play some games and say, hey, well, we never signed for that, or we never received that, and then all of a sudden you held liable. So spend the money. Usually most process servers, depending if you find a real good one, between $50 and $100, that's nothing. If they're gonna write you a ticket for $300-400, it's nothing to spend $50 to $90. Spend the money. So I'm going to show you guys the affidavit that was signed on my behalf, because that's the route that I chose to go. I said, well, if I send in as registered mail, or if I send in certified, return receipt requested, anything can happen. They can rip it up. They can say, they can just basically perjure themselves, and it's no evidence. It's no track record. And also another benefit of using a process server, most of the time, most process servers, if they're allowed, they take video. So they have a video of themselves usually serving a particular individual or corporation, whatever the case may be. So I showed you guys the case summary and why they can't proceed, because they got their damn contract back. It's as simple as that. Their shit was served back and they have it. So basically, I spent $50, right? And the total for just having my goddamn high beams on, look at this, you guys, it would have been $207. These was a lot of balances and the fees and blah 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 and all the hoopla that they was charging my legal person. So now I'm gonna go ahead and show you guys the description of the actual case. You can go to Arizona Case, look up any case. I don't give a shit how long ago it was. If you have a subscription or if you don't, you can look up any case. So like I said, I was pulled over on May 27th. They got served right back on the 1st. My process server, she filed the affidavit with the clerk. They initiated the folder. The case was initiated. The complaint e-filing, which is their computer, whenever the cop was typing in all the information in the computer, was all done on the 27th, right? And take a look at this. This is the case activity. So you see, I served them back on the 1st. She filed the affidavit of service the same exact day. The officer initiated everything that night on the 27th as I was actually getting off. Okay. So I want everybody to get a good look at that. Now I'm going to scroll back so you guys can see the case activity once again at the Tucson City Court. Look at the status. Pre-arraignment. Boom. You guys can verify the actual case number. You can look at it. Alright. Okay. So now, after you do all of that, you want to make sure that you get your affidavit. And so I'll briefly show you guys my affidavit that my process server gave back to me. Okay. I'll read it first and then I'll show you guys. It says, the state of Arizona and the county of Pima executed this first day of June 2016. The affiant, which is my process server, she said the affiant, being first duly sworn, deposes and states she is an officer of Pima County Superior Court number 247, certified and registered to perform process service within the state of Arizona. On the date June 1st, 2016, at time 4:08 p.m., the affiant presented to me a notarized individual acknowledgement, 1 page, and an original City of Tucson, Arizona citation with the number listed, and then she goes on to list the number to Anna. Well, I don't want to put her information out there, but basically the Tucson city clerk, and she gives the location of service was at 255 West Alameda Street, City Hall, 9th floor, Tucson, Arizona, and zip 85701. The affiant certifies she is over the age of 21, not a party to the case, nor concerned in the event thereof. Affiant declares under penalty of perjury. She signed it. Boom. She also gave me an additional letter in which she details to the city court, or the clerk. She says, "Hi." Then she puts her name. "I am a process server that serves paperwork to the City of Tucson via presentation to the city clerk's office. Although this situation does not have a case number, the gentleman who hired me, the defendant, to present the paperwork to the city is doing such in regards to a," she put, "parking ticket issued by the City of Tucson." I just caught that. I actually need her to go back and fix this, because according to them, that wasn't a parking ticket. My legal person was trafficking, but I'm not going to get into all of that. As such, I am mailing this affidavit of the presentation of papers to the City of Tucson to you, asking you please to file this into your record associated with the case filing, and then the citation number issued by the City of Tucson, so that the situation regarding this ticket progresses. All details will be on the record. Please contact me with any questions. I'm gonna go ahead and show you guys the letter per se. I don't want to put her name out there. This is pretty much the letter. See, I like to show proof in all of my videos, or any videos that I'm going to be uploading from here on out. Show you guys I'm actually doing what I'm doing. So, she filed that, and as you guys can see, I'll go back to the public case lookup. So, she filed that the same day. Affidavit of service was filed June 1st, 2016. Then, once again, we'll scroll back to the actual city court. Look at the case, so you guys can verify this is the same case once again. If, here it is, November 12th, 2016. Why is my case still in a pre-arraignment status? Why hasn't a so-called judge, which is, magistrates, which are not, appointed judges, because once, why isn't there any judge, or magistrate rather, why isn't the case been able to proceed forward? I know why. And they know why. Because we are actually getting out here, we are doing the research, we are educating ourselves, we are sick and tired of being told what the so-called law or legalese is without actually taking the initiative to do the research ourselves and start holding their ass accountable. I go down to that goddamn city court all the time, or previously when I used to go down there all the time, and we were all dropping promises to pay, because that's essentially what FRNs are. We down there, spending our sweat equity with a goddamn corporation, because they turned us into a corporation and have us contracted in these adhesion contracts such as driver's license, birth certificate, state identification, social security, anything you could pretty much think of to get our sweat equity, meaning our labor, our debt notes. We waking up. So this is pretty much how I handled a previous citation that was issued to my corporation. And I'm putting this out publicly because I'm informing myself. I'm becoming more well-equipped, well-versed. I'm still learning. I'm still educating myself. And I'm going about it in a humble way. This isn't anything in regards to the so-called citizens. We'll do some research into that word. That's one who owes an allegiance. But so let me rephrase that. This isn't me going at the so-called people in the city of Tucson. This isn't me going at the city council or anything or anybody like that. It's just that my corporation, or the corporate me, the all caps letter name me, has a right to choose who, when, and where, and what I want to contract to. And I don't want to spend my sweat equity debt notes contracting with them based on a so-called obligation under having a driver's license or anything. So that's all I got for you guys. Oh, I also wanted to mention, if you take a look at, if you go to your state's comptroller, and most of the times if you look at the general accounting office, it'll tell you most of the time that the municipal corporations or the municipal courts are usually not entered into the CAFRA reports. And the reason why, if you ask me, in my opinion, why they don't is because, in particular, in Tucson, they'll arrest, say for instance, somebody breaks into another person's house, right? They'll arrest the individual, but the county handles the matter. So basically, if you break into somebody's house in Tucson, right, you don't go to a city jail because the city itself doesn't have an actual jail. You go to the county jail. Then the county usually, well, it depends on the nature and the severity of the crime. Usually, if you break into somebody's house, that's going automatically, they transferring that case over to the county, which has the actual jurisdiction. And once again, shouts out to brother Trueman317. He had pointed out to me, and I never thought about this. And if anybody that's going to watch this video or listen to this video, if you guys live in Pima County, or you can find any information or any affidavits that basically states that the city of Tucson is a court of law, as opposed to a private law firm perpetrating themselves as a court of law, you let me know. And you know, I'll shoot you guys my email, drop something in the comments and I'll shoot you guys my email so you can go ahead and email me that information, because I would like to take an actual look at that. But usually, depending on the severity of the cases, and what I find out is that it's kind of like an incentive. It's a kickback to them. Most of the time, the municipal corporations have the right to engage in any form of business that they want to, right? Without actually swearing to be legit. It's like, well, we claim to be a court of law, but if you don't have anything on a public record in which one can look up, how you can claim anything? But by us not knowing, we're not rebutting their claim. So we do have to hold some responsibility and take responsibility for that as well. However, like I said, if anybody can find any information on that, you please email me, because I would like to take a look at that. So I'm going to sign out with you guys, and I want everybody to take a look at the Wayne Stump letter. That was a very important piece. Take a look into the straw man, or a legal person. I gave True a shout out. You guys go follow that brother. You know what I'm saying? Real dope. Anti-Corruption Society. Mark Stevens. Oh yeah, Mark Stevens up in Phoenix. I'm showing love. Mark Stevens up in the Phoenix area, man. The brother is dope. He's showing people the same process, different processes, going about it, getting remedies all over the entire state of Arizona. I guarantee you, if I looked at the CAFRA report and I broke everything down from the last fiscal year, which ended back in June, I guarantee you, I would say they made at least, as a state, probably at least $30 to $40 million in traffic citations and traffic tickets and stuff like that alone. But shouts out to brother Mark Stevens. He up there in Phoenix doing his thing. He's going about it a certain different way. This is just pretty much a quick remedy that I wanted to show anybody. Say, for instance, if you haven't corrected your status and you haven't, filed a lot of documents in regards in which one would need to secure their straw man or their legal fiction. If you haven't did any of this stuff, this is just a quick remedy, because you still hold basically authorization over that all caps letter name. And like I said, the fact that they serving out the actual tickets and they just putting mark that served without actually having you sign it as the authorized rep, then But that's pretty much all I got, man. Anybody that got any questions, anybody that want to know how to go about certain things, I'm here to help, shoot me a comment, just let me know. We can poly, It's we gotta stick together. Everybody is in this together. We have to communicate. We have to open up. We have to start talking about certain things in a public forum. We gotta expose the game for what it's worth. I mean, that's not me. That all caps letter name. Now I'm here to defend it. If you come messing with it, you come bothering it, I'm here to defend it. But I know that it's not me. And most people is waking up. That ain't me. I'm signing for it at times in commerce, but that ain't me. But you come messing with it, and it's on. So just know that. And like I said, it's not nothing personal. It ain't me, trying to put the city of Tucson out on blast, but it needs to be talked about. We got the right to choose who we want to contract and who we don't want to contract with. I do want to throw out a disclaimer, and then I'm going to let you guys go. Now, if you didn't tore somebody's shit up, meaning like, you didn't got into an accident, or you didn't did some shit where you driving like reckless as hell, even though, or traveling, either or, driving or traveling, whatever, which one, in your capacity, whatever hat it is that you wearing. If you didn't tore somebody's shit up, you need to make them whole. So this ain't for you. I don't want to put this video. This is for the average person who had a situation like me. You got your fucking fog lights on, and the cop want to pull you over just to, because he getting his dick hard by, writing a goddamn ticket to somebody and fucking with somebody, or trying to find some dope, or, and then when a motherfucker realize, oh, he ain't have shit, they looking stupid. And then he who brings forward the charges is the one who has to pay. So basically, what happened with this, I know what happened with this on the private side. That goddamn officer who issued this citation was the one who had to pay. They're like, well, he gave us the contract back. You drew it up. We not just discharging this shit. You need to pay for this because you cost us money. You cost the clerk money. The clerk got to file this shit. Somebody got to pay for this. So, I don't want this to be used as somebody, like, if you out here doing the most and you out here tearing shit up, you need to make people whole, and you need to be held accountable for whatever it is that you're doing. Like I said, this is for, like I said, I spent $50 to get rid of $207, but to me that's worth it to let them know. Now you can do this, like I said, via registered mail or certified mail, but just to be safe on the safer side, I would prefer using a process server. That's how I would go about it. I wouldn't use registered mail or certified mail. I mean, you can do it the same way, use registered or certified mail, and spend $12, but you ain't gonna get no affidavit. You're not gonna get a certificate of service. You're not gonna get video. My actual process server did all three. I actually have video footage of her serving them. I got 3 pieces of evidence. So if they ever try to say, well, you didn't give us our contract back, or you didn't do this, you didn't do that, bullshit. Why is that case still stuck in pre-arraignment? Because they can't go forward. They got their shit back. But anyway, like I said, any comments, questions, subscribe to the channel. More or less, we on an educational tip. We need to come together, cut the television off, start looking into this shit. And if you're going to watch television, make sure it's something informative. I'm not judging. I'm just saying, we got to stop letting these people do whatever it is that they doing to us. State of Arizona Constitution clearly states that municipal corporations have the right to engage in business practices with the people. But it didn't specify that they had to be legit. So this is some corrupt shit by default. It's stating to them that, it states, hold on, I'll find that and show you guys, and then I'm going to really get the hell off here. Let me look that up real quick. Hold on 1 second. Give me 1 second. And this is the Constitution in which your legal person, if you haven't controlled it, supposedly has to abide by. Now look at this. This is in the state of Arizona Constitution. This is Article 13, Section 5. Right of municipal corporation to engage in business or enterprise. It states, every municipal corporation within this state shall have the right to engage in any business or enterprise which may be engaged in by a person. Now, you better do some research, and y'all better get y'all some law dictionaries such as Black's, Bouvier's, statutory codes, and judicial terms and phrases. You guys better look into a research that word person. it ain't what the average person think it is or what the average person think it means. You're going to find out when you start becoming familiar with legalese. A person meaning a corporation, a trust, a fiction, a legality. You a legal person. So it doesn't mean like what you think it means. Hey, like, hey, you see that dude over there? That's a person. No. When you're dealing with them, a person means something totally different. But it says a person, a firm, or corporation by virtue of franchise from said municipal corporation. Now, what did I just show y'all? I just showed y'all. What does this say? It says City of Tucson, a municipal corporation. And I'm going to show y'all that where it says that in a state constitution. Take a look at that. All right, folks, that's all I got for y'all. I'm signing out. Peace. Much love. Respect to everybody. Have a good night.